welcome back. This video is actually for my daughter Darcy. This is one of those few recipes that she has not attempted, that is a family recipe. It's actually from my husband's mother. As I said, if you watched my last video regarding the homemade egg noodles, we think very, very fondly and lovingly of Grandma Edwards at Thanksgiving time and our other special holidays like Christmas and Easter, when we have spinach salad and her homemade dressing. So this is not a unique recipe to just her, but it is one that we have incorporated as one of our traditions to have at mealtime. So this particular dressing is a cooked dressing, and so Darcy had never attempted it and kind of wanted a video. So this morning when we were talking, we decided, hey, maybe Mom should make a video and Darcy can try it by watching the video. So here we go. So we're going to, I'm going to turn on my oven here, or sorry, my stovetop here real quick. And so the ingredients that we need for this are cider vinegar, water, sugar, 1 egg, and cornstarch. So I have adjusted our recipe just a little bit over the years. The original recipe for this dressing called for 1 full cup of sugar, and our family found that that made it just a little bit too sweet. So I actually backed down the amount to about 2/3 cup instead. So if you like it sweeter and less tart, you can adjust it as accordingly. So in my saucepan, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in a 1/2 cup of cider vinegar. And it just so happens that I use raw, unfiltered vinegar, which happens to be Bragg's, if you like it. I also am going to add my 1/2 cup of water. Okay, and my 2/3 cup of sugar. Okay, so I have turned my stove on, and initially I've got it up on high. I want this to boil, and I want that sugar to completely dissolve. So I probably should have already had my stove turned on and my pan heated and this going. So this is going to take just a little bit for it to boil. So bear with me. It is Thanksgiving Day, and I'm doing this a little, actually quite a bit later than I normally do, but I am still cooking. So I have the homemade noodles. If you watched the last video, I have those cooking actually in this other pan. And unfortunately, I did not tell in the video to be sure and stir these frequently, because if you don't watch them, the noodles will stick. I also failed to mention that because of the flour that's in your dough and the little dab of extra flour that's on your sheet when you pour the noodles into your boiling broth, that it does make a nice little gravy to accompany your noodles. So give those a stir here and make sure that I don't have any more noodles sticking to the bottom, which I did earlier. So, okay, my water, vinegar, sugar mixture is heating. So, okay, while I wait for that, I'm going to take my measuring cup and I'm going to go ahead and break in 1 egg. Now my egg, I don't have ice cold. It's actually about room temperature, which is exactly where I want it. Unfortunately, I have rearranged some of my kitchen drawers, so I'm having trouble finding some things that I need here. Here we go. I want my whisk. Okay, so my vinegar, water, sugar is coming to a boil. So I am going to turn that down. So to my egg, I'm going to give it a quick little whisk here just to break it up. And to my egg, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. Okay. Okay, so there is my cornstarch, and I kind of made a mess of that. So I'm going to go ahead and whisk this up until it is smooth. And you can use a whisk, you can use a fork, whatever you care to do. But I want this twist up nicely so that there are absolutely no cornstarch lumps. If you have lumps of cornstarch, you will have lumps of cornstarch in your dressing, and that's kind of nasty to taste. So, okay, I have this nice and smooth now, okay? And I don't know if you saw that or not. Okay, this is boiling really nicely. Okay, so there is a trick to this. Because we've used egg, we do not want to incorporate this cold egg mixture into a boiling mixture because it will make your egg cook and curdle. So there is a trick to this. The trick is to add tablespoons of hot liquid very slowly to our egg mixture. Whisk it up so that we are slowly bringing that egg up to basically the same temperature as our water and vinegar is in our pan. So this is another reason why I do not use an ice cold egg out of the refrigerator, because it is too cold, and then it is then more subject to actually curdling and cooking, and it makes your dressing look it makes it look really bad. Okay, it's just not as nice looking. Okay, so to my egg mixture, I'm going to turn my burner down just a little bit. Okay, so I have this nice and warm, okay? It is really close. So now I'm going to start stirring this water, sugar, vinegar mixture rather quickly, and I am going to very slowly start pouring this in to my water, sugar, vinegar mixture that's super, super hot, okay? So there we have it. This is in there. And I'm going to continue to stir, and I'm going to turn up my burner just a little bit. So I'm at medium high. So on my stove, that's about a 5.5. And of course, as you can tell, I'm using an electric gas top stove. And so that does make a little bit of a difference. Okay, so I'm going to now turn this up just a hair, so quicken things along. So I'm going to continue to stir, whisk this, so my egg does not cook and curdle. I don't want that to happen. I also, because there's sugar in it, I don't want it to stick to the bottom of my pan either. So I'm going to continue to do this just until this dressing thickens. And I don't mean for it to be thick. I mean just until it thickens. You want a nice thick dressing consistency. So as soon as I get to that point, and I am almost at that point, this process moves along very quickly. So you most certainly want to continue to stir constantly so it does not stick. So let me show you what I mean. This is boiling now. So here is my mixture. As you can see, yes, it's runny, but it's relatively thick. And as it cools, it is going to get thicker, okay? So this is exactly the thickness that I want right now. It actually coats my spoon, okay? I have it coating my spoon. That is precisely the mixture I want. So now that that is done, I am going to remove it completely from the heat. I do not want it to thicken any further. I'm going to set it on the back burner. I'm going to let it cool for just a little while, and then I will actually put it into, I actually put mine into a gravy boat so that each individual can use however much dressing they wish to on the spinach. So the spinach salad itself consists of washed and dried spinach. I remove the stems. I serve diced onion on the side to put on the spinach. I also serve chopped bacon. Since I am pescatarian, I don't want the meat. So I serve diced, crispy bacon pieces in a bowl separate with the spinach so that individuals can add that into their salad. If you wanted to, you could even incorporate things like nuts, walnuts, pecans, dried cranberries, anything like that. Just remember that this dressing is very tart. So if you want a sweet and saucy kind of dressing, if you want to use a dried cherry or dried cranberry, that might work out nicely too. So to my daughter Darcy, Good luck, sis. And if you have any questions, you know how to call mom. Happy Thanksgiving.